What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes episode 119. I am Mike. I'm here with Big Al. We are down a man. Liam had to work today, which I don't understand this man's schedule at all. It's just I don't
Very
know.
weird, very unorthodox.
Randomly he'll be like, dude, I gotta work till 10 to 10. And I'm like, all right, but whatever. It is what it is.
And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave my job. Don't worry. It's like, okay, but you're still there, dude.
Been
Like,
saying
and
that for
I
months.
want him to be happy wherever he is. But
Mhm.
like, come on, man. We got some important things to talk about here. Very important.
We do. But you know what? At least he'll be here next episode, though, obviously.
Mhm.
So no worries. But okay, Al, before we get into the a couple of little Patriots news, offensive, defensive coordinator news there. We are in the midst of championship weekend. By the time this comes out or anybody's listening to it, this will most likely be after the games, I would assume, just when people listen. So we might sound like idiots here, but first game, we are recording Sunday, just before 1 o'clock. So this is before the first game, the 3 o'clock game. Chiefs and Ravens, sir.
Yes.
This one, I see that this is basically a Patriots fan's nightmare because I don't know who you root for here. I am pulling for the Chiefs just because, one, I love to watch the chaos. I love to watch everybody shit the bed over, being upset that Taylor Swift gets shown on screen, which, by the way, she doesn't even really get shown that much anymore.
No, not as much. It's
much.
old news, but it's still like for the young
Yeah.
fans. It's like, oh, here's Taylor Swift. Oh, she's sitting in the box. Oh, she has a handshake with friggin' Brittany Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes now. Like, I don't know. Did you see that on Twitter? They have like that ridiculous handshake in the three, and like it's so stupid where they just do like the little like fingers.
Dude, I was fine with it being her and Brittany Mahomes doing it, but then fucking Jackson gets in there. I'm like, dude, this isn't a three-way handshake. Yeah,
and Jackson's Jackson. We know Jackson's not.
He's got his
people.
own issues. I don't know how he is even in the booth with them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it. Like, listen, if Taylor Swift was dating Edelman when he was on the team, right, you would expect her to be shown a little bit. Like, she is, other than, I don't know, like, I know like Bad Bunny is huge. Other than, like, I don't know, Drake or someone, like, she's bigger than Drake. She's the biggest superstar in the world right now. Like,
she is.
So, like, they're going to show her. But I will admit, though, the NFL has just been so weird with their coverage of her ever since.
Marketing, Mike. That's all it is. Yeah. It's marketing, getting that revenue up. Do you remember in 2016 when the Patriots obviously beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl, and it was I think it was Danny Amendola was dating Olivia Culpo at that time. You remember that? That was crazy. Now, obviously not as big as Taylor Swift, but still like a celebrity, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that was big. And then he went off the deep end when they broke up and started posting stuff on Instagram, which was
not great.
Which was wild. But back to the game. So who do you got? Yes. I'm pulling for the Chiefs just because I want to watch the world burn. I don't have the hatred. I think ever since Brady left and now the Patriots are kind of meh, I haven't had the visceral hatred for Mahomes and the Chiefs that I used to have. So I guess lesser of two evils. I'm going Chiefs. Who are you going with?
I'm going with Ravens because it also does take away from my take that Lamar Jackson's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback, because I've been saying that for like 3-4 years now, and everyone's like, well, wait, he's really good. I'm like, no, he's good in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he can't get it done. And then people are like, oh, what about the Houston game? Yeah, congratulations. You won at home against a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach. Congratulations. Awesome. Now you beat Kansas City. That's a legitimate win. That's a good win. And it's like, okay, now you're in the Super Bowl. Now you have a chance to exercise those demons. But give me the Ravens. Like, I know you like to watch the world burn because I've seen your Twitter account and I can confirm that. But
very much so. Yeah, very much so. Dude, sometimes I get bored. Okay. And I'm just sitting around. I'm like, you know what? Let's just
stir up some shit. Let's stir up what we can. But give me the Ravens. They've been the best team the whole year. I'm sick of seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and it would be their fourth Super Bowl in 5 years. I don't want them getting anywhere close to Patriots territory. That's the Patriots' selfishness in me. So give me the Ravens in the AFC Championship. That would be ideal for me.
My thing with the Chiefs, I agree. Like I'm sick of seeing them too, especially now because they're not as like fun to watch, you know? Like I'll admit, even though I don't like Harbaugh, I don't like the Ravens, but like they're at least fun to watch because Lamar Jackson is exciting. Like the Chiefs are just like, I don't know, like they don't even seem that good, but they are really good still. I don't know. And I do think though, if they do get to the Super Bowl, which is what I'm hoping for, they lose because that would be the ultimate thing. Because what's better or what's worse than Mahomes not getting to the Super Bowl, getting to the Super Bowl and losing? Because if that happened, he's not gonna catch Brady anyways or the Patriots. But like I think that's just like the heartbreak that I want to see from the KC fans. That's what I want to see. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
because then
It'd be cool.
because he'd be what, 2-2 in Super Bowls at that point if that happened.
Super Bowls, yeah, 2-2. I mean, so like, great, like, good for you. You know, it's like, are you going to get three just because you keep going to them and losing or whatever? I don't know. But NFC though, the second game, this is to me the winner coming out of this one, the Lions and the Niners. This is who I want to win the Super Bowl. I'm going Lions though. Obviously, the story is awesome. We talked about it last week. There's very little to dislike there's not much to dislike about the Niners either. Like
There's
I
really not.
enjoy the Niners as well, but it's just the Detroit, if they make it to the Super Bowl, like I said, it'd be hilarious. You have Eminem and his fans and Taylor Swift and the Swifties. That would be crazy. But I'm going Lions. Who are you picking in that one?
I want the Lions, but I think the 49ers are going to take it. But I will say this, excuse me. If the Lions get the ball, and I've been saying this to people all week, if the Lions get the ball first and score, and then for like heaven forbid, San Francisco has like a turnover, costly fumble, whatever, and then Detroit scores again. San Francisco has troubles playing from behind. They have to be a team that plays from ahead or is even. So they get down early. I mean, don't be surprised if Brock Purdy tries to step up and then he throws a couple picks. I mean, the Lions they have a legitimate shot at this game, but I think the 49ers, as long as they do what they need to do, especially on defense, and if Purdy actually exposes the Lions secondary for what it is, then I think the 49ers should take this game. So
yeah, I think the 49ers are the better team, I guess. But it's just the issue with the Lions that teams like face. Dan Campbell is a maniac. Like you don't know what they're gonna do at any time. Like they might fake punts, they might go for it on a fourth down you're not expecting. Like they'll pull out these plays because I think he understands too. Like with the city of Detroit, like they're down for it. Like if you try some crazy shit and you don't get it, like the city of Detroit, they're not gonna all of a sudden turn on their team. They're gonna be like, listen, we haven't been here since 92, 93, 91, something like that.
yeah, since the Barry Sanders days.
Yeah. So like they're like, whatever you want to do, let's do it. So I don't know. Either way, though, I do think that whether it's the Niners or the Lions, one of them are going to win the Super Bowl. Hopefully, I think that would work. So.
The Lions are playing with house money right now. Nobody expected them to get to the NFC Championship, and they have all of the United States pulling for them, except for California, San Francisco fans. Yeah. But I mean, even if they lose, it's a great season for them, and they have something to build off of for next year. But like Chris Castellani of Barstool said, they're here. They might as well win the whole damn thing. So.
Yep. Yeah. No, shit. Like the funny thing is, like I said, and like you said about the Niners, there's nothing to dislike about the Niners. Brock Purdy, nice story. Mr. Irrelevant coming in and he's playing. He even was, the people were saying he might be the MVP this year. And that was wild. George Kittle, my favorite tight end in football. Once again, Travis Kelce is not a tight end. George Kittle is my favorite tight end in football right now. He's fun. He loves wrestling. I like wrestling. He's just a fun dude. Christian McCaffrey is like the most electric player since, I don't know, name a player. He's the most electric player since them. Like Deebo Samuel, love Deebo Samuel, like could have been a Patriot. Like it's just the defense is fun. Everything about the Niners is fun. It's just they're running into America's team right now. So I don't know, but either way, that game, I'll be watching that game kind of more of, of course I want Detroit to win, but I'll be happy no matter who comes out. But yeah, I guess before we get into the Pats too, a little bit, you brought it up. I completely forgot just with everything going on this week with the Patriots and just kind of football, a bunch of other shit. Jim Harbaugh, coach of the LA Chargers now. What I think I said it in the group chat and I'll just kind of throw my thing out there that I want to know how you really feel about it. I think this makes me look at the Chargers differently, because I've always kind of looked at them, as has Liam, where it's like, they're a good team. They're excited. They might beat you here and there, but like, they're not gonna, like, nothing's gonna happen. They're almost like the Hawks in the NBA, where like, they're gonna have like good seasons. They're always gonna be towards the top, or like they used to be, always towards the top of the standings, but they never really went anywhere. But no, I think that this is big. Brandon Staley, I think, was a wildly
loser
yeah.
of a head coach.
Yeah,
absolute loser.
Did he go to Philly? Is that where he is now? He's the OC in Philly?
No, so Kellen Moore is going to be the OC in Philly.
Okay, yeah.
I know Staley interviewed for, I think, their defensive coordinator position in Philly. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't. Kellen Moore is the guy. Yeah, now that you said, I remember. But yeah, Harbaugh to the Chargers. What's your take on that? Kind of looking forward for anything, Patriots, just NFL.
I mean, credit to the Chargers for actually taking a big swing here. I mean, you have a national championship coach. He literally won a national championship in Michigan, but people forget he was good with the 49ers in his 4 years that he was at the 49ers. Brought him to a Super Bowl, lost to his brother. It is what it is. But also, Mike, I don't know if you know this, but in their first 4 seasons, Jim Harbaugh has the second most wins for a coach in their first 4 seasons in the NFL. I think it was like 42 or something like that.
Really? Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, I saw the stat on Countdown on ESPN. They're doing like the postseason countdown.
44-19-1. They tied a game.
Yeah, so 44 wins in 4 years. That's pretty good. I mean, 11 wins a year.
Damn.
I mean, so again, credit to them for actually doing what they need to do. And you know what? I think it's going to benefit Justin Herbert. And I think that maybe not in 2024, but I think 2025, the Chargers could be a legitimate team to watch out for if they do things correct.
But yeah, because
they're taking a chance
to build. Yeah. I mean, he needs the year to kind of get in who he wants, get out who he doesn't want. Which, by the way, this is something. Austin Eckler, free agent. Would you want him on the Patriots? Do you think that, and do you think he'd come here? He's what, 28, I think, 27, 28, 29 maybe?
Do I think he would come here? No. Do I want him here? Not necessarily. I'm fine with Stevenson. I'm fine if you re-sign Ramondre. I don't think Austin Eckler is a primary need. I think your primary needs are obviously quarterback, which look at the draft. Yep. Wide receivers, again, maybe the draft, maybe probably free agency, and offensive line. I don't think a running back is a primary need right now for this Patriots team.
Yeah, no, I just figured I'd throw it out there. I think he'd be primarily a third down back anyway. So if he's there, might as well take a flyer on him, kind of like you did with Zeke. But yeah, definitely not a priority. It'd be interesting to see him here, though. I do, now that Liam's not here, we can say it. I would like to see the Patriots re-sign Zeke. I still just don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to get a big-ish contract somewhere else. Not huge, but just bigger than what the Patriots would spend. But then again, we don't know what the Patriots would spend, because this isn't your parents. This isn't your grandparents' Patriots. This isn't the Bill Belichick-led Patriots. This is the Gerard Mayo, like, kind of brain trust between.
Let's burn some cash, Patriots. Like, let's you
know what? Okay, let's get into the Patriots news.
Okay.
So that quote, "Let's burn some cash." Because this game, we have not talked about this, correct? Like, other than like
we might have last week a little bit, but we can touch on it again because it ruffles some feathers.
Yeah, people are not happy with that. The let's burn some cash thing. I think they just kind of assume that, like, you're going to be flippant and just spend money on big names or whatever. Again, I just don't see that as what he meant. I think Gerard Mayo, which, by the way, people don't know, Gerard Mayo interview said, let's burn some cash, basically saying, like, you need talent. Talent is 100% what you need. Let's burn some cash to get that talent. I don't think he's talking about being not responsible with the money. I think he's just saying we're going to spend money this offseason, which should excite you. I don't get it.
Do you think the Patriots fans, because they've known the Belichick way for so long, that it's almost like scary? It's like you're so comfortable with something for so long, and then something new comes out of the blue and you don't know how to react to it. Do you think that could be a possibility?
Yes, I think that has happened with Patriots fans since Tom Brady left. I think there's a transition that's been going on for the last few years between the dynasty Patriots to the somewhat rebuilding the dynasty Patriots. And I think Patriots fans, and like I myself included, not everybody, no one's perfect as a fan. Like, we don't know how to handle it. And like right now, you see these quotes or you see these things happening, and you're thinking in the mindset of the Belichick Patriots. And then you're thinking like, okay, if it's going to be different, it's going to be a complete 180. So instead of being frugal with money, now we're going to spend on dumb things. It's like, no, I think the answer lies somewhere in between. But no, I think Patriots fans are just, it's a scary time, because I think we all understand how important this offseason is. But it's just like, I think people just need to calm down. Like, if you don't get the offensive coordinator you want, oh my God, the sky's falling. If, you have a defensive coordinator that's young, who we're about to talk about, like, he's not proven, what's going to happen? Like, everybody just calm down. I feel like Aaron Rodgers, just relax. Like,
and not only that too, like if Gerard Mayo's spending like really bad money, so I'll give a quick example. If they gave a contract to, like, I'm just gonna throw a weird name out there, Darius Toney, right? If they give him like a 5-year, like $85 million contract, then I'd be like, all right, Gerard, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing here? But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to be smart with it. But I think they're going to, and I know, because I want to talk about this later when we talk about the offensive coordinator position, I think they're actually going to pay up if it's between them and another team. And if they really want the player, they might bump it up a little bit to get that deal done. That's what I think the burning of the cash is. Yes. And that's good if you want players here. And I hate to say this, and I know you're going to hate to hear this because we're diehard Patriots fans and we live in the past somewhat. But if you don't have Belichick anymore, you don't have Brady anymore, you don't have those factors to play into it. You're going to have to be the team that spends a little bit more to get the players. That's the reality of it. And if you're still not willing to spend, then be prepared to live in mediocrity and worse, just like you did in 2023 for the next 5 to 10 years, if you continue on that path, which I don't think they want to do.
No, I think that the team now understands, hopefully, or at least someone in there understands, which not that they didn't understand it before, but just kind of talking broad strokes. Like, free agency, by definition, you're gonna be overspending on people because you're bidding with other teams, even if it's just one team that you're bidding against. Like, if you buy something at whatever price it is, that is different than bidding against something like that just by what that is. Like, if you go to an auction, you're going to pay more for that item. But if you really want that item, you have a limit. If as long as you're under that limit and you think that whatever that limit is lets you go do whatever other moves you need, I don't care. Like, that's the thing, unless it's like a crazy overpay or like something. But like you said, if it's like a Kadarius Toney, or like even if you give a crazy contract to Michael Pittman, which is a wide receiver that people say might be on the radar, but I think there's a limit there. But like, you're gonna have to overspend at free agency. It is what it is. Like, the Patriots have done it, and then they haven't done it with players. It just depends on who they get. So yeah, I'm completely fine with him saying that. I think that should be exciting to fans, but seems like fans are taking it the other way. But
are we surprised at this point?
No, we're not. And but I will say, now kind of going into the defensive coordinator position, this seems like something that the Patriots fans almost all seem kind of behind. So DeMarcus Covington has been named. Has he been officially, or is it like they plan to name him? I think that's
they're planning,
right?
They're planning to name him. The Patriots Twitter account even said report DeMarcus Covington to be next Patriots defensive coordinator. So that's the plan.
Semantics. Yeah. It's all semantics how they're wording it. But so DeMarcus Covington will be the new defensive coordinator for the Patriots. He is 34 years old. He is 2 years older than me. That is nuts. I have never looked at my life more with disgust than seeing that, where I'm like, you are 34 and you are about to coordinate the defense of the New England Patriots. I am 32 and I struggle getting out of bed in the morning now because my knees are gone. Like, holy shit. Like, oh my goodness. But yeah, so he was the defensive line coach for a few years, right? 3 years, I think, something like that. So in the defensive line, if you put any stock into, because I know people are like, if we're going to name person X as a coordinator, how did he do in his role here or whatever? I don't know how much stock you want to put into that, but if you do put stock into it, the defensive line has been pretty damn good the last few years. The defense as a whole has been pretty good. I don't see any negative in this. I think if you have Mayo if you have Covington and if you have maybe an offensive coordinator we'll talk about later, I think that's a very nice young core nucleus of coaches, which is something that we've been talking about for seasons now, where it's like, just give us some sort of stability. And it's nice if they're young because then you can kind of grow along with them. But what say you about DeMarcus Covington being reportedly going to be the next defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots?
It's a good hire, and I think they wanted to keep it within. And you know what? And I saw somebody tweet this out. The fact that there's so much inexperience, it's like, yeah, guess what? Yep. People, and I will always say this, whether it's on a podcast or just talking to people regularly, how do you get experience if someone doesn't give you that experience? That's the whole thing. You need to get experience somehow. Somebody has to give it to you first. So Gerard Mayo has given DeMarcus Covington his first crack at being a defensive coordinator. Now on that unit, besides like, again, maybe another safety, maybe another linebacker, is there really a lot of work that needs to be done on that defense? No, because you're getting Judon back. You're getting Gonzalez back, which is, another pass rusher and a corner that's going to help you so much.
Yep.
And that's the thing is, again, just maybe in the draft, get a linebacker in like, the 4th round, 5th round or something. Get that extra safety like in the later rounds, whatever. That's fine. Sign someone in free agency for cheap. Again, that's fine. But DeMarcus Covington has done a great job with that defensive line. They know how to get to the quarterback. They do a good job of getting to the quarterback. So again, give the guy his credit. The players wanted him. I think Gerard Mayo wanted him. Yep. I mean, obviously he did because he's going to hire him. So I think this is a really, really good hire. So I'm good with it. And I'm sure Patriots fans will be excited about it once the season starts.
See, that's one of those things that I think gets swept under the rug, is that the team wanted it. Just like with Mayo being the head coach. The team, the players are happy he's there. Now, I know that's a small piece of the pie because if the players want a coach to be there and he sucks, it doesn't really matter if the players want the coach to be there. But it's just, that's a good step in the right direction. It's not like in Oakland where there were players saying that they were going to want to leave the team if Antonio Pierce didn't become the head coach. It's nothing like that. Listen, people wanted Mayo. A lot of ex-Patriots players, current Patriots players, coaches, they said, yeah, it makes sense that he's the guy. Awesome. Covington, when I think Christian Barmore tweeted out a couple eye emojis like an hour or so before the news about Covington broke, the players are happy he's there. He's been with them for a few years. They know his kind of system because he's going to have the same type of system. Obviously, there'll be different tweaks here and there, but like it's a good signing. It's a good move. There's very little that you could be worried about. And like you said, every single coach you see in the NFL started with zero experience. Every single coach. And it's not like if you want to maybe talk about Mayo's inexperience being a head coach, okay, I'll listen to it. I don't know how much stock I'll put into it, but Covington, he's going to be a coordinator. It's still a big position, but he's still coordinator. You're just kind of managing the entire group now. It's not like he's going to be a head coach, which then, okay, sure. Like I said, I'll listen to you, but this is the next step. He's gonna be the coordinator. And I think it's going to be awesome. I think the players are going to want to play for him. I mean, we see that with the Lions right now in the playoffs. They want to play for Dan Campbell. Is Dan Campbell the best coach out there? No. Is Ben Johnson the best offensive coordinator out there? Probably not. But the players want to play for him. The players want to play for the coach. They want to play for the offensive coordinator. I think that's important. Yep. And I'm pumped. I like that he's young too. I know that was kind of something that people wanted, was a young guy in all these coaching positions. So there you go. You got your guy who, and I don't want to hear about, you're bringing someone in-house. The problems aren't going to go away, blah, blah, blah. Listen, problems are on the offense. The defense has not been a problem. So if you want to promote anybody from within to any position, I'd want it to be on the defensive side. Patriots defense is what has kept this team watchable for the last couple of years. Yep. So I'm pumped. And like you said, we'll do an episode on it at one point. And I'm excited to do it because I want to get myself hyped up again for the Patriots. And the defensive side is kind of set. Like you said, you got Judon coming back. You have a potential shutdown comeback player of the year corner and Christian Gonzalez coming back. You got some corners that are still there. Safeties, like you said, you grab one, you get a veteran, whatever, fill a hole, move, kick the can down the road with that. Or sign Duggar, maybe. Who knows? And then linebacker, yeah, just some depth pieces. You got starters. If you really want, you can sign Uche back too if you want. Like whatever, get Mac Wilson. That'd be a nice little piece there. But no, the defense is set. So if you have a coordinator come in and do that, I'm excited. This is just another step in the right direction to get the myself and the fan base excited for the 2024 season. That's how I see it.
And to put the cherry on top of the sundae here, Patriots have one of the best run defenses in the NFL. Who was responsible for that? DeMarcus Covington. By the way, Christian Barmore, a guy that we all love, had a breakout 2023 season. Who was his defensive line coach? Let's see, DeMarcus Covington. So again, this guy can coach players. This guy can get guys to perform at the level that they should be. So now that he's just the guy that's monitoring the whole defense as opposed to just the defensive line, I think we're going to see a lot more schemes. I think we're going to see a lot of things, maybe some wrinkles we haven't seen before. But I'm excited, genuinely excited to see what Covington can do to an already pretty good defense.
Yep, a pretty good defense that he had a vital part in playing, dealing with. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy. I think the team is moving in the right direction with on the defensive side of the ball, both with the players and with the coaching there. You have a defensive minded head coach too, which is nice to kind of keep that going as well. But now everybody basically turns their attention. Draft's a little bit far away, so Patriots fans got to find something else to complain about, which I'm down with at this point. Offensive coordinator. Patriots still have not named an offensive coordinator. They've had a litany of interviews now. I don't know. Do you happen to have the people who they have interviewed so far?
I can get that. if you give me like 10 seconds.
Yeah, no worries. I'll talk our way through it though till you get there. So yeah, offense, obviously, this is where I think a lot of Patriots fans, and rightfully so, should be aiming their worries because the offense has sucked the last few years. I mean, you had Matt Patricia 1 year, you had the Bill O'Brien that didn't really work out. Obviously, he's going to Ohio State. Good for him. But the Patriots did want Zach Robinson. That seemed to be the big name that everybody wanted. But he's going to end up going to Atlanta. So, good for him, whatever. I saw, again, a lot of Patriots fans kind of saying that the sky may be falling in that case. Dude, you don't know how he would have been here. Granted, would it have been nice for him to come here? Of course. But cool, it's not happening. Move on to the next thing. It's a loss because you missed out on him, but whatever. So who were the people that the Patriots had in so far?
So the Patriots so far have had Nick Caley in from the Rams, who's actually going to be getting a second interview on Monday. So, and that's something we'll talk about in a sec. They had Zach Robinson in, obviously, like Mike said, he's going to be going to the Falcons. Dan Pitcher was, I believe, a Zoom interview. He got hired by the Bengals to be their OC. Shane Waldron from the Seahawks, who got hired by the Bears. Gerard Johnson from the Texans. Thomas Brown from the Panthers. Tanner Engstrand from the Lions. Brian Fleury from the 49ers. And Luke Getsy from the Bears. So that's all the names of the offensive coordinators that the Patriots have had in the building for interviews or via Zoom for an interview as well. So they're doing their homework. And by the way, what's the one common thing that a lot of these offensive coordinators have in common, Mike?
They're all at one point or another have crossed paths with Sean McVay.
Bingo. And that is not a minor detail. That's something that is huge because, again, we talked about this last year. I know I was a little more, passionate about it. I think you and Liam finally kind of caught up halfway through the season, but it's you need to.
We got there.
You did get there. I'll give you your credit. You did get there. You need to be up to date with the offense in the NFL. And these are guys that have seen it firsthand in the McVay-Shanahan system. So you know what? Excuse me. But you know what? Honestly, whoever you get is going to be a pretty good hire. Again, I'm going to stick with what I've said since Bill O'Brien left. I think it's going to end up being Nick Caley. People forget he had an interview in 2022 for the offensive coordinator position. And the old saying goes, if you don't get the job the first time, but you get a job interview immediately again after when the position reopens, more than likely you're going to get it because they liked you enough the first time. They just thought that someone was a little bit better, but then this time they realized, okay, they made a mistake. I think they're realizing, you know what, Bill O'Brien wasn't a mistake, but maybe we should have just hired Caley a year earlier so we could have been a year into the offense. But again, I think Nick Caley's the guy. I think he's going to be fine. And I think he was the tight ends coach here before he went to the Rams for the 2023 season. So he's seen that Patriots offense very recently. He knows some of the players there. So I think he can develop an offensive scheme that's going to look a lot better and run a lot smoother than the last couple of years have done. So again, Nick Caley, I think, is going to end up being the guy.
Yeah, I think he will be too. And this by no means is a slight to Bill O'Brien. I think that hiring him last year was something we all wanted, we all anticipated, we all were happy that happened. Obviously, It did not work out how we wanted. Blame whatever, whoever you want for that. It just simply did not work out. But I guess the rumor was that when Nick Caley was getting interviewed, there were a lot of players within the team that wanted him to be the OC. Now, again, obviously, Bill O'Brien came in. People didn't hate Bill O'Brien. Like, it is what it is. He kind of Belichick disciple, so people understood what they were getting. But, like, again, it's another thing where the players in-house, whoever is left from that, or whoever wanted him to be there, obviously, Caley was someone that the players wanted. So, and he's someone who has been, which is a big thing, like you mentioned, he's been with McVay, and like the Rams offense has been good. Sure. Like, if you want to say that Tyler Higbee's numbers have been down on the Rams since Caley has been there. Okay. Like, I don't know how much blame you want to put to Nick Caley for that. I do not care. You're coming from an offensive system that is good, at least much better than your offensive system was. So I think you just bring in talent, just like Mayo said, bring in talent, whether it's coaches, whether it's players, I don't care. Have Nick Caley here. He's been here before. So at least he's been exposed to the Patriots organization. So bring him in, just like, when the Patriots let players go out and then they come back, they happen to succeed. Maybe this is going to happen again with coaching. So yeah, I do think that is going to be Nick Caley. I think he's going to be the guy. He is 41, so that's another young guy out there. I think that's a very fine trio, a nucleus there to build with. I don't know how long anybody would be here when they get here. I don't care, but it's just, I think that's something. You have everybody there. You kind of start to draw up how you want your team to be as a whole, and also bring back Hunter Henry.
Yeah,
that's my thing, dude. If you're going to bring him back, he was this in we'll kind of talk a little bit about him, Hunter Henry. He was a captain this past season. That does not happen by accident. I know that he was the captain under another coach's regime, but Mayo was still there. Nick Caley Caley was here when Hunter Henry was here then, correct?
Yeah, because for at least 2 seasons, because Hunter Henry came in 2021 and Nick Caley was still here. So at least 2 seasons.
And Hunter Henry has been really good his entire Patriots career. Granted, some of the numbers might not be where you want, but he's been a top tight end in the league, whether you're looking at touchdowns, maybe not yards, but he's just always been productive when he's out there. So you got to bring him back, whether you want to tag him, sign him. I don't care what it is. If you get Nick Caley in here, even if you don't, but if you get him in here, you got to bring in Hunter Henry. I feel like you can't bring in a tight ends coach to be your offensive coordinator and not have a tight end under contract, because that's where the Patriots are right now. They do not have a single tight end under contract going into this season. So getting Hunter Henry would be a sweet addition with Nick Caley. But I'd like that. This was something I saw fly by right before we got on here, like a half an hour before.
Mm-hmm.
Cliff Kingsbury interviewed with the Bears. They have not hired him yet. Now, everybody said that he was going to, they were going to bring him in. The Bears were going to draft Caleb Williams, and it was going to be, match made in heaven. Follow along with me here. Maybe Cliff Kingsbury is not going to be the guy in
Chicago. Because he's not.
Would you take a flyer on Cliff Kingsbury?
I would take a flyer. I would at least interview.
Why not? Right?
I mean, you might as well. I mean, this is going to sound crazy, but if you really wanted to, take a flyer on Josh McDaniels too, because again, it's
we'll talk about that. Yep.
It's the fact that you're not interviewing for a head coach; you're interviewing for an offensive coordinator, and we've said this. Some guys can be good coordinators, but they can't be good head coaches. because the Bears, they hired Shane Waldron. That's done. That's already, signed, sealed, delivered. So, I mean, Cliff Kingsbury, it doesn't hurt to have a guy that worked with Caleb Williams. At the very worst, get some information. Be like, how is Caleb Williams in, pressure situations? How is he off the field? How is he in team meetings? How is he on the practice field? At least at the very worst, gather a little bit of information, because God forbid, I don't know if you saw this, but Chicago, the Bears tweeted from their account, like the JF1 like video, Justin Fields won. And it's like, why are they tweeting this out? Like, wouldn't they keep it quiet if they were really considering taking Caleb Williams #1 overall in the draft? I mean, plus two, with Caleb Williams saying he doesn't want to go to Chicago, all this stuff. I mean, if Caleb Williams falls, it's between you and Washington to get him. But then maybe you get the information. You're like, you know what? Washington can have him. We want Drake May. We want Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
But again, fine. Bring in Cliff Kingsbury. He's got to serve a purpose in one way or the other, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And what reminded me of something I want to talk about, you brought up Josh McDaniels. I saw people saying now that the Patriots didn't get Zach Robinson. Is it Zach Robinson?
Zach Robinson.
I always mix up his last name. There's too many Zachs that going through my head when I'm talking about sports. I don't know why. But if the Patriots did not get him, which they didn't, people were like, oh, now we're gonna fall back into Josh McDaniels' arms. Listen, that wouldn't excite me, but I wouldn't hate it. Like, we got to separate Josh McDaniels, the head coach, from Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator.
Right.
He has pretty much always been, at the very, very, very least, a serviceable, passable offensive coordinator. Again, I hate the third down shotgun runs. Everybody hates that. Like, sometimes he'd have some dumbass plays he'd call. I don't know. But every coordinator, every coach, they all have that. Like, I would not hate Josh McDaniels coming back. And then I saw some reports saying that the Patriots, since they're bringing in, if they were to sign Nick Caley, they'd want an advisor to kind of help him out on the offensive side. I wouldn't even be opposed to bringing in Josh McDaniels in that role, kind of like your shepherd kind of.
Yeah, do like a quarterback coach and a passing game coordinator.
Yes.
There's the role.
Yep.
Because I think that was Tanner Erdsten's role, or whatever his last name is, from the Lions. I think that was his role to go along with Ben Johnson.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't hate that. Like, again, you just bring in talent. Like, it's not always going to work. Everything's always a roll of the dice, whether you're hiring a coach, a player, drafting. Nothing is a sure game, but yeah, I wouldn't hate that. You bring in Nick Caley and have Josh McDaniels as like a passing game coordinator. Wouldn't hate that whatsoever. Because if lest we forget, Mac Jones, his best year was with Josh McDaniels. Not saying that Mac Jones is coming back. I'm just saying that if Josh McDaniels can make Mac Jones look good, what could he do with Drake May or Jaden Daniels? You know what I mean? Which, by the way, another week, we're going to talk about it every week. Where do you stand? You want Drake May or Jaden Daniels? Those seem to be the two quarterbacks that the Patriots are going to, because Caleb Williams, unless you trade up, I don't see him being there, because the Bears are either going to take Caleb Williams or they're probably going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. And then the Redskins, no, not the Redskins, the Commanders.
There you go.
I don't even know why that slipped. I don't call that. I've always called them the Commanders. I don't know why that slipped there.
Force of habit, understandable.
The Commanders are most likely going to take Caleb Williams. And if he's not there, they're probably going to take Drake May. But if the Patriots have the opportunity, we're not going to bring in Marvin Harrison Jr. because that throws a monkey wrench in that I don't want to talk about right now, because I don't know what I'd want them to do. I'd be happy either way, but I don't know. Drake May or Jaden Daniels? Who are you leaning to right now? Because I change every week. I lean differently.
I'm going to stay pretty consistent with this. I'm going to stay with Jaden Daniels. And here's why. A big thing for me is, what's the competition you played against? I'm not saying that's the say all be all, but it's a factor. Drake May played at North Carolina. He's playing in the ACC. Sure, they have a couple decent teams. Like Clemson's a decent team. Florida State was good this year. Miami was okay. Fine, whatever. Jaden Daniels is playing in the SEC. You're going up against Alabama and Auburn and Arkansas and Mississippi State and all of these big-time SEC schools.
Mm-hmm.
That means something to me. That means that you've seen a high level of competition and you succeeded. He won the Heisman. Mm-hmm. So again, if I'm a coach, that means something to me personally. And maybe that's why I'm not a head coach in the NFL or even a coordinator, but I'm going to stick with Jaden Daniels, and I love the aspect of, again, the dual threat quarterback. Can Drake May be that? Sure, but I don't think to the level that Jaden Daniels can be, because he can be elusive, he can be explosive, and if that play breaks down and he's got 20, 25 yards, downfield ahead of him, why not take that 20, 25-yard gain on the ground as opposed to trying to fit in a pass somewhere and it either gets picked or intercepted or batted down or whatever. So yeah. Jaden Daniels. Give me Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. And again, I've leaned toward Drake May for a while because, you hear people talk about him. He can put the ball wherever he wants. He can still run if he has to. He's not Jaden Daniels by any means, but he can still run. He's a much better runner than Mac Jones. He can still, he's not elusive. He can't make plays happen, but he can take what you give him and kind of, keep going. He's a tough kid, they say. But then you look at Jaden Daniels and it's not only can he, make plays happen with his feet? Can he, still throw the ball? He's not just a pure runner. That's it. But I start looking at it where, okay, if you have a first-time offensive coordinator, that giving him as much, let's just say it's Nick Caley, giving him as many options, as many tools, as many things to play with as he can only help not only the offensive development, not only the quarterback's development, but Nick Caley's development as an offensive coordinator as well. So if you give him Jaden Daniels, it's one of those things where it's listen, we're going to design these plays. And I don't have to worry about you being a statue back there, because if for some reason something breaks down, you can run, you can, elude the tackle and run. What does that also help? The offensive line, where you're probably going to have a second year guy, whether it's City So or I can't think of his name. Antonio Mafi starting probably at right guard, because if you sign Michael Wenu, he'll probably play right tackle. But it's just, and then you have who knows at left tackle, whether it's a rookie or a veteran coming in. If you have a quarterback that you don't have to worry about, if you happen to miss a block or kind of half-ass a block by accident, it's not an automatic sack. You're not going to have a guy back there like Mac Jones or Tom Brady who would turtle, no slight to them, but it would be what would happen. Right. I think Jaden Daniels having someone like that takes a lot of the pressure off everybody else on the offense. So right now, I'm leaning toward Jaden Daniels because I think that'd be nice to see, when other than Cam Newton, but even then you kind of had the corpse of Cam Newton in a year where nobody wanted to play or watch football really. Right. When have the Patriots had a quarterback like that? They had Tom Brady for 20 years. Then they had Drew Bledsoe. You'd have to go way, way, way back before I was even watching football. So
Tony Eason, I don't know if he was much of a runner though.
No, but that's just it. You're going pre everything. You're going pre Robert Kraft.
Yeah. Real quick, do you know who the Patriots almost had as a quarterback in the 80s? I'll give you a hint. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Oh God, who?
Jim Kelly.
No shit. That would be funny.
They were one pick away. So I watched the 30 for 30 documentary. Have you ever watched the 30 for 30 documentary, Elway and Marino? In that
no. That's on the list. I know 30 for 30 got a lot of good ones on there, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I would highly advise it because I know you love football, so I know you would love it. Just real quick, while we're on the topic, while I have it on my brain, the Bills had 2 picks. I think it was 13 and 15. The Patriots had 16. The Bills took someone else, and Jim Kelly was thrilled because he didn't want to go to Buffalo. Then another team picked, and then the 15th pick, the Bills took Jim Kelly right before the Patriots. Literally the pick before Jim Kelly could have been a New England Patriot. And then Jim Kelly ends up going to what at the time was the USFL Houston Gamblers, which was pretty cool. So he got to play in a dome, and then he ended up playing for Buffalo anyway. We know that. But yeah the Patriots almost had Jim Kelly. One pick away.
That's crazy. That'd be a good what maybe we'll do that once a month, the last episode of each month. I want to do it doesn't even have to be the whole episode. It can just be a segment. We'll run it by Liam, but one of the biggest what ifs in Patriots in Patriots history, whether it's like you said, if Jim Kelly came to the Patriots, or what if Drew Bledsoe never got hurt, or what if whatever. I think that'd be fun to do, like a what if thing.
I think so too.
But yeah, that'd be crazy. What if Jim Kelly came here? Because you got to think, you wouldn't end up with Bledsoe probably, and then that I don't the snowball effect of things that would happen. Do the Patriots get to the Super Bowl 4 times and lose? I don't know. Who knows what happens? That'd be wild.
That would be wild.
But yeah, but Jaden Daniels, that's where I'm leaning right now. I feel like we're gonna end up ending the episode from now to the draft about. I'm gonna ask you guys who you're leaning towards because I think it changes every week. It does for me. I'm going towards Jaden Daniels now. But if for some reason Marvin Harrison Jr. is there, I'll always throw this caveat out there. I think you have to take him still. And we say it every episode. I think you take him and then you just trade back into the first if you really want a guy, or you take someone in the second who could still be serviceable. You never know because you don't need to be a first round pick to be a successful quarterback, but sure as hell helps. But yeah, Jaden Daniels, man, seeing him, that would be seeing Jaden Daniels, Nick Caley as your offensive coordinator, Covington over there running an elite defense, Gerard Mayo keeping everything tight. And that, I don't know. I'm slowly getting more and more excited for the Patriots as we get closer and closer to the draft, free agency. I think that's going to be the peak excitement for me, and I'm sure you and every other Patriots fan out there, is going to be the draft and then free agency. Like what?
Well, I mean, the Red Sox are going to suck. So, I mean, there's going to be nothing. There's nothing else that it'll be on.
The Red Sox are going to suck. The Bruins and Celtics are still good. Celtics are the best team in the league. Bruins are one of the best teams in the league. So at least Patriots are, New England fans have that to kind of lean on. But yeah, I think it's going to be, it's going to be very interesting. But yeah, I think the Patriots checked another thing off their box. What did we want? We want head coach. Check. Defensive coordinator. That's on the list. Check. This we'll kind of wrap it up. Still defensive coordinator talk there. Steve Belichick. The Belichick bros, Brian and Steve. Now rumors are that if their dad can't get a job, Bill Belichick, who isn't going to be the coach of the Falcons, Raheem Morris got that nod. But if Belichick doesn't land a job somewhere, the Belichicks might stay here, which I think that only helps. I know people make fun of Steve Belichick because he's a little goofy, sounds just like his dad, but I think him being here would be awesome. He was a part of this defense too, so you can't say you don't want Steve Belichick, but then also say you want the defense to be as good as it is, as it's been, because he was a piece of that. I'm not saying they can't be good without him, but having Steve Belichick here would be good. So, I mean, that's another thing to watch, see where they go. But the Patriots are checking things off their boxes right now. So
they are. And don't forget, Gerard and Steve are really good friends too. So I think if Belichick doesn't end up getting a head coaching job, which I think is a very realistic possibility, at this moment in time, I know. I think that Steve Belichick could end up with the Patriots in some way, shape, or form next year. And Brian Belichick too, if they both want it. I mean, why wouldn't they still want to coach? Like if they want to
definitely
develop their careers and further their careers.
Yeah, because that's going to look good. Like if they do stay and, the team is successful in whatever way that can shine on, Steve Belichick or Brian Belichick, that's just going to help them the following offseason where it's like, yeah, sure, we stayed here without our dad. Everybody thought we were, just hires just because of our last name, or, nepotism babies. But no, we're actually good at our job. So it's just going to help them moving forward if they stay here and succeed in any way. So yeah, I think that'll be good. But yeah, hopefully when we record next weekend, the Patriots have an offensive coordinator named, and I'm gonna assume it's gonna be Nick Caley. That's gonna be the guy I'm going with. So.
We have mini breaking Patriots news. Patriots head news. Yeah, Patriots head news. Mini breaking news for the Patriots team. There we go. I can speak words. Again, this is very, very small. University of Florida is set to hire New England Patriots assistant special teams coach Joe Houston to coach its special teams units. Sources tell Swamp _247. So Patriots losing a special teams coach, but also with the Nick Caley second interview, they're also bringing in, and I want to make sure that I get his name right because it's the special teams coordinator for the Rams as well. It's
of course.
Where is it? Jeremy Springer.
Okay. Listen, I don't know too much about like all the coaches. I got to look into them. I know even less about special team coaches. So, hey, listen, if it's someone that's going to come in that'd be better than, your boy Cam Acord, then let's do it. Let's do it. I'm in. Oh yeah. Right. I keep forgetting the Patriots are going to need a special teams coach too. So that's on the list as well. Mm-hmm. But I think they'll land one, but okay. So yeah, that's two. I mean, the GM thing, they're handling that their own way. So really the only two massive coaching decisions that need to be done now, other than just kind of filling it out as they go. Offensive coordinator, special teams. So hopefully next week they have offensive coordinator, special teams. You get that down the line, and then start looking towards the draft, looking towards free agency. What are you going to do? So, yeah, I'm excited. You got anything else to say before we get out of here and go watch Taylor Swift beat the Ravens?
Nah, go Ravens, go Lions.
Go Ravens, go Lions. Listen, I wouldn't even hate it. It doesn't matter. Lions are going to win the Super Bowl anyways. So we will see you next week. And Liam will be here as well. So we out.